Oh my God. Oh my
I
God.
missed that song.
Yeah. Looky. Who do we have here?
Looky, Angie's in the
In
building.
the building. It has been a long time. I hope y'all
It
see the
has.
excitement in my face. It is Ladybug. Ladybug, welcome back to the show. It's been a long time, lady.
Hey, I miss you guys. I miss that track. There was nothing like vibing to the Floor Is Yours soundtrack when it comes on at the beginning. That always sets the tone for each and every podcast. And fortunately, in this podcast, we're only going to take a few minutes, maybe 10 to 15 minutes, to talk about something that is actually really pertinent in the communities, in all communities. And I know you're going to tell us about it.
Yeah, so we do a lot of work with Moshe, and we highlight our work here with the Floor is Yours podcast. So just want to take a serious moment to talk about a real serious issue. And if you've been watching the TV, you will have to literally be living under a rock to not know about what's going on in our communities with some of these illicit drugs, especially and specifically fentanyl, right? So it's responsible for a lot of deaths. It's crazy that they are literally marketing it to kids right now. But what we're doing this weekend, we did the Conversation Summit back in March, and you came up with this wonderful idea. Now it's time to take action. So this weekend, we're doing the Action Summit, where we're going to talk about some of the concerns that came up during the Conversation Summit, right?
Right, right. And so just to punch off of that, knowing that we were able to get, officials in and around Texas to come in and be a part of the event with us was an amazing thing. But
Yeah.
to actually take action after we had the conversation is really what we're going to do on Saturday. So on Saturday at 10 to 1, at Sandman Hotel, we will be taking part in an action summit. What we'll be doing is bringing in people from the area. They're going to come in and they're going to talk to us about drug crisis in our area and in your area. Fentanyl, drug addiction. We've got some great and renowned people that are going to step up and just really tell us what it is, what signs to look for, and just how you can be a part, bring your kids with you. We want to hear about stories and situations where, our young folks don't always reach out to their parents and older people to tell them some of the things that they really go through. And we do realize and see that these things are happening continuously inside of the community. We thought that it was great that Moshe and Mogul Media and I Create Peace all come together to create this summit so that we can basically talk about how we can be a resource to the community. Again, being a part of the community is always going to be about making sure you make those resources available. And that's some of the things that we want to do. Now, I know you're going to tell us about a few people who will be speaking with us. And this is near and dear to your heart. This is what you feel like it's the best place to start as far as bridging the gap in communities that are suffering. And a lot of times poverty and drugs go hand in hand a lot of times. And so I think that not just seeing certain situations as a whole, but finding ways to tap into and take certain areas and issues that happen in these communities and pay attention to them. That is one of the things that we're doing. We're going to take action, and we're going to do that on Saturday.
Yeah, and part of that is teaming with, like you said, some of the community leaders. We found there's an opportunity for us to kind of bridge that gap between the people in the community and the community leaders. So we'll have the chief of police for Frisco, and we're going to be at the Sandman Hotel. You see there on the flyer from 10 to 1 p.m. But he's going to really get in the weeds and tell us what's going on with some of these drugs, fentanyl, other opioids, other drugs. And, we said earlier that they are deliberately targeting kids. And when you think about that, it's kind of troubling, right? How are they targeting? They're making this look like candy. It's colorful. They're looking like what's those little sweet tarts or whatnot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
the thing
Making it
is,
look like street cars. There even, and there are a vast majority of kids that are growing up in certain areas that believe that marijuana is safe. It's being laced inside of marijuana as well. Some of the drugs that people said weren't gateway drugs truly have become just that. And I think that unfortunately, marijuana usage has become very recreational. So I think that All people also need to look out for this. You know, some
Yeah.
people have certain issues that they have to use it and they're not buying it pharmaceutically. This stuff is being put in everything. They're making it look like candy. They're putting it in gummies. They're putting it in everything. And
Yeah.
so, you know, to those people out there that say, well, you know, I know the person, and no, 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 no. Your first job is always to protect yourself, and the best way to do that is to
Yeah.
not do it.
Yeah, and educate yourself too. So, again, we have the chief of police. We got Dr. Jones Hines, and I like the fact that her topic. She's going to actually talk about how to empower the environment. So you got, your kids or family members or friends who have become addicted to the drugs. So
Mhm.
what do you have when they get treated and they become back, go back to the community? Those people that are around them are kind of looking at them for who they were and not for the success story that they become. So
Right.
she's actually empowering and resourcing those around the person who was once an addict and who's recovering, so that you can better help and create a supportive environment so that that person won't relapse. And I think that's an important piece of the puzzle as well.
And to bridge off of that, another thing that she and I talked about when we spoke briefly was the mere fact that the resources that she has available to her, some of them basically are, and one of them is that making sure that when it comes to different types of drug addictions, not just fentanyl, even though that is a major part of what we will be talking about, and crime and those things, she said that it's oftentimes, you know, all the resources and are given to the person that is becoming a new person from a drug addiction. You know, they've cured themselves, they're trying to work on rebuilding their lives, but what about the lives that were broken during the
Right.
process?
Yeah.
So children and mothers and fathers and these people that have had to witness hands on and be a part of the decline of a person who has been addicted and has an addiction, you know. And she's saying that we can't forget about those people. And so she's going to speak to the breadth of just not only that, but of how you, if you know someone or you have someone inside your family, the things that you can do. And she wants to continue to raise awareness through her book and her institute.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that piece right there. Also, we're teaming with I Create Peace. If you was at the Conversation Summit, you know the energy and the drive and the power and the just the fun that they bring to the party, right? So we're gonna have some dancing, we're gonna have DJ, we're gonna have food, we're gonna have some prize giveaways too. So what we're needing
Yes.
is everybody to come out, bring your kids, bring your family members. It's going to be a lot. It's not just going to be sitting down listening to people talk, but there's going to be some fun. We got some Visa gift card giveaways to Foot Locker and some other places too. So yeah, come on out. The music is going to
And
be
don't just come for the gift cards. Come because you want to be a part of your community. Remember, you guys, everything that we do, everything that Moshe does things to bring the community together. Everything that Moshe does, bringing I Create Peace on board, I'm going to tell you right now, there is nobody like I Create Peace, and there is no organization like Mogul Media. We could never make this happen without having
yeah,
Mogul Media in the building. So I just want to just make sure I reiterate this. This is definitely your baby, Flex, and I appreciate the things that you are trying to do. You're trying to make a change with a busy schedule that you have. You are actually doing the work. A lot of people, they want to be seen, but they don't want to work. And you are doing the work. So I just want to say big ups to you for that.
appreciate it. And like all things, it takes a team, right? It takes a community. So I
That's
appreciate
right. And I'm
it.
a part of the team. I
Right,
will
right.
always and forever be a part of the team.
Hey, how the kids do it? They'll do it right.
Yeah, how
You
the
locked
kids
in.
do it. How the kids do it.
You locked in.
Yes.
And get you a Tamika. Get you a Tamika.
Get you a
Yeah,
Tamika,
yeah, yeah,
a ride or die.
yeah.
Like I'm trying to tell you, they don't make them like Tamika. They don't make them sincere and just a go getter, and the brain that this woman has.
Yeah,
Woo!
yeah. She's
The
dope. She's
brain
dope.
is unbelievable.
Yeah. So
Okay.
here's the link. I mean, the website, the actionsummit.eventbrite.com. It's a free event too. So the only thing you got to do is get your butt up out the bed on this Saturday. The weather is going to be a little warmer too, but even if it wasn't, it's indoors. Again, it's going to be food. It's going to be a lot of good information, good resources. If you know anybody that could benefit from it, please don't hesitate to share the
Right.
information. Yeah, and I'll share one more time the flyer just so if you got your phones, you can scan the QR code up there, and
That's a
and
tongue twister, huh?
yes,
QR code.
QR code. Scan it. But
Scan the
that's it. Like
QR
I said,
code.
yeah, we didn't want to be on here long. We just want to
We don't
share
want to be
this.
on here long, but before we go,
What you
we
got?
just want to remind you guys why this is important. Flex, you had a few statistics, and I want you to quickly tell us about those statistics that
Yeah,
you have.
yeah. So one of them I said earlier was just talking about how these evil people, and I'm calling them that intentionally, they are marketing this to children.
Right.
And it's called the rainbow fentanyl. And it's a new method used by drug cartels to sell fentanyl made to look like candy to children and young people. It says
Mm.
the brightly colored drug is being sold in pill, powder, and block form, and it even resembles sidewalk chalk. You know, if you used to do the hot
What?
back in the day, yeah. So they are
So even
literally,
touching fentanyl can
yes.
even cause you to have a reaction to it.
Yeah, yeah, and it says the DA deemed the phenomenon a deliberate effort by drug traffickers to drive addiction amongst kids and young adults. We had our problems when we were young, but
Yeah,
I
we
just think about what these kids are faced with today. To have these cartels deliberately targeting the youth.
target.
Like that's pretty troublesome here to hear that right there, right? And one other one, it says that fentanyl is a synthetic opioid that is up to 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine. You know, we all been in the hospital and been on morphine. It says it's 100 times stronger. So just it's a major contributor to fatal and non-fatal overdoses in the US. So make sure that you're out, get in your kids' business. Ask them. Sometimes they're just really waiting for you to be a parent or a guardian. Just ask them what they got going on. Ask them what their friends got going on. And we are, as the guardians and the parents, the first line defense. So we got to make sure that we're educating ourselves so that we can be a barrier, if you will, a shield from what the world is doing out there.
And just so I can bring it home, and so we can just go ahead and wrap it up quickly here. There was also a study that was published, a pediatric study in May of 2023. And as of the start of May of 23, we already had 1,500 plus deaths from fentanyl. 1,500 children, 1,500 pediatric deaths by May 2023.
It's
And
unbelievable.
they say that it's up 30% from 2021. That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a significant number. So we just need to make sure that, we need to educate. The one thing that we can do to reduce the numbers in these deaths is educate. And that's what we're doing. Bring awareness, tell about the dangers, and make sure that parents talk to their children about these
yeah,
dangers and these drugs. And make sure that they know and what the signs are to look for.
yeah. I
Opioid
listen.
overdoses, know
Yeah.
what Narcan is, those type of things. I have a cousin, she lives in New York, and she says she's gone to parties where people keep stuff like Narcan at the parties, just
Yeah.
in case something happens,
That's the
because you
case.
never know what someone's doing or taking in your presence. So now that our culture is moving to a place that we have to be proactive,
Yes.
we're going to have to make sure that here with Moshe and I Create Peace and Mogul Media, we all bring awareness with the Action Summit. We are taking action, people, on Saturday. We want to see you there. We start at 10, it ends at 1. Don't forget, it is the Action Summit. It's a Sandman Signature Hotel in Plano, Texas. Again, bring your children, bring your family. It's a great place to also network, share stories, have fun. There will be prizes. Again, there will be prizes. We want you to not only come for the prizes, come for just the community involvement and action that we're taking.
Yeah. Your kids, they need us. They need us involved. They need us in their business. You talked about the signs, know the signs, awareness, and all that. So get there. It's going to be fun. And you get to meet Ladybug.
Yay! Hey, I can't wait to see everybody there, especially everybody that attended the Conversation Summit. Again, we all thank you for coming to visit and be a part of your community. Your community, it is up to you to be a part of it. It's up to you to keep it safe, and it's up to you to keep the children in your community safe. So let's take back our communities one step at a time. Yeah, baby, I'm in love for you. Baby, come down to the floor. Let me show you how to love for you.
Hey, see everybody Saturday.